Okay, this is going to end someday. It's like I'm not getting any audio. Okay, hey, good morning. Good morning, you guys. Are you guys getting audio signal? It's not registering here. I hope so. Andre, nice to see you. See, usually it registers right there. I'm not getting dilly squat, the bunkus. You guys getting audio? I guess so. Okay, so anyway, Kim, good morning. Jim Rolfe, salute, Jim Rolfe. And Robin Riggs. Hi, Rob. Thanks for joining, you guys. What a day. What a day. We have so much to talk about, and I can't think of a damn thing, but I know there's a ton of stuff. Uh-oh, I'm on a diet. I'm eating this cracker. Uh-oh. So anyway, hey, interesting week. Really? You know, that was Take the A Train. And it's interesting about A Train. It's a fun song. You could improvise on that forever. So it's basically a C chord going to a for 3 4 2 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 2 3 4. So, oops. Thank you. It was going to play for me again. It's one of those songs that's got C major 7 for 2 bars. Now, it's quite easy to just play some junk in C major scale, but it sounds better to go G7C or C G7C. So you get this kind of sound. You hear it, so it's or you could go C D7 G7C, and if you did that, it would sound like this. And then over the dominant 7 chord, this is the perfect opportunity to play a melodic minor. Isn't that a cool sound? Or D whole tone. Let's illustrate that a little bit. So, and then of course we have a 2-5-1 lick and then a turnaround. Did you hear that? So that was D7, G7, and back to C, and then to this. Let's do that again. 2. And turn around. And then 2-5-1 to the 4 chord. Here we are on the 4. Now on the 4 chord, it's interesting because you can go. It's four measures on the F chord. So it's the 4 chord of the key of C, right? Now we could do you could do several things. You can just play around the F, which generally I do, or there I hit it around at this chord. So let's hear what that would sound like. Okay, wait a minute. Go back. Here it comes. 4 chord. So that was and then it goes to D7 for 2 measures, and then you could think, think 5 of that. So that's that back cycling technique. Back cycling. Just think of yourself as back cycling. Let's improvise some more on that. Hold on. Did you hear that? It was a C chord, and I went. So I'm playing 2-5 a C. That was the lick we did last week. See what I mean? So I have a lesson, of course, some lessons on Take the A Train, and there's also I think it's a free video under it where we talked about it at the workshop. And that's kind of fun to see that. That was recorded at our workshop. Wilfried, Cardon. I keep thinking Cardano, crypto money. Thank you for joining us. K-Flip 101. It sounds like a radio station. Oh no, it's Flip K. Hey, don't be flipping the K. Sounds great. Video's great. Yeah, this thing sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Da 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 da. Man, I've sold 2 Golden Eagles, and I'm gonna sell one of those. Your arm and a leg goes away with it. You just would like to keep them all because they're going to do so well in the future. But how many can you play? So anyway, good morning from Crossville, Tennessee. All right. One key for that. Let's do it in this key. No. What am I doing? I can't think of anything to say, so when in doubt, just shut up and play, So anyway, here we are. Any news to talk about? Let's see. We've got some more signups for camp. Camp is starting to shape up. So that's exciting. Our website is coming along. We had an Easter weekend. We went out of town. I got to see my family and my tax man, and that's always fun. And so that was good. Let's see. Let's play another song. Here's a song, speaking of camp. And all right, this is an 18-inch, right? This is a Super 400 with some of these heritages kind of, I don't know if the jack gets worn out. It's kind of a small barrel jack. So I probably should replace that. But certain chords don't work well. It's got if you get a cheap chord, it's got a thinner pole coming out of the jack, and it doesn't really fit well. So you got to buy a more expensive jack that's kind of really fat and right in there, and it locks in. So anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, camp. So one of the songs, in the camp, we divide the group up into 3 groups, A, B, and C. The C group is the less experienced. And this is one of the songs that we're going to be playing. It's called Midnight Blue, Kenny Burrell song. And Kenny plays a Super 400 when he was younger, and then he got the endorsement with Heritage, and so they made a Kenny Burrell version of a Super 400, which is beautiful, spectacular guitar, and I think it's got a pointed, cutaway. And then they also made a 16-inch Kenny Burrell with a laminated top, one pickup, real pretty, and a nice sounding guitar. And so more people could have access to the Kenny Burrell philosophy. Does that make sense? Okay, let me find this in my band. What was life like, without tracks? You know what you had to do? You worked with a metronome. And I'll tell you what, when you work with a metronome, you generally take responsibility for the tempo. When you work with tracks, you can float around. Hey, the band's going to, they're going to come in on time, right? But so you're kind of floating over it. But if you work with a metronome, you have to be right with it. So, for instance, let's talk about A Train again real quick. Here's what I like to do. Now, here's my metronome. I think it's at maybe, I don't know, I want to say maybe 80 beats per minute. I can't read it. And I put it on 2 and 4. Can you guys hear that metronome? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I am in a bridge. So you see, I'm right in tune with the track. So the track, with the metronome. And so you have responsibility for the time. By the way, my son Wes is back here doing all the switching around with the cameras and everything and getting things loaded up. And there he is. He's a big smile. That's my little boy. I remember when he was born. He was a little baby. And that kid's head would sweat like crazy. He had a big head. He had a really big head.
Smart.
Yeah, the fluid finally drained out, and then he got a little dumber. No, he's a smart boy. And anyway, if you feel so inclined, you're certainly welcome to give him a tip. And you find the link there and give him a tip, and you get a coupon for lessons. So please do that. Okay, Midnight Blue. So let's play Midnight Blue. Okay, this is only 3 minutes, so bear with me. I have this track. Come on, guys. This band sucks, man. God, freaking idiots. I can get a high school band in here to play better than you guys. Yes, it's the only band I've ever said, hey, turn up, guys. Actually, I have said that to Gary Newmark. He'll play so soft on the drums. It's like, Gary, turn up. And then he's too loud. But sometimes, well, never mind. All right, how old does a son have to be when you stop calling him boy? Do you know the answer to that, Wes? He does not.
But did I catch a string band in there? And that...
A string band?
Yeah, you actually did a string band.
I did? A string band, yeah. Light it on fire. Hey, so, yeah, that's a beautiful Kenny Burrell tune, isn't it? It's Midnight Blue. There's a whole album of that. Just, I think, a trio. Or maybe there's sax on there, too. Anyway, he's the last remaining guy alive, right? Okay, so, Wes, I'm going to do the chord lick now. But why don't you prepare for Tal Farlow's guitar, which is on reverb. It's a 1951 ES300, and it'll say Tal Farlow. Notice how I give them the heads up on that. By the way, my mom always referred to me and my wife as kids. Hey, you kids, how you doing? You know, we're 60. And she said, what are you kids doing tonight? So I do that with my kids.
So wait, what was it? Say it again, Tal Farlow.
It's a Gibson ES300, 1951. Type all that stuff in, Tal Farlow. All right, let's do chord lick. Oh, God darn, I forgot all my stuff, Wes. Hey, Gail. If you're listening, honey, all my stack with my stuff is in... Okay, sorry, not being prepared. How can, it's 9 o'clock in the morning here. Good God. So, let's talk a little bit about Midnight Blue, because it's just F minor. It's in the key of F minor, so it's Dorian, F blues, C blues. Right? But then it's got this crazy bridge, and it's like, I would never have done that, what he did, going to the 2 to the 5 in the bridge. Usually the bridge takes you to a different tonality, but he did that. And so he goes 2, 5 of F minor, but then F minor now becomes the 2 chord of E flat, and then it goes to 5 of E flat. Then it's deceptive, and then it goes to B flat minor, A flat minor, and then 2, 5 of F. So, it's kind of a real It's like, wow, that's different. And one of the things I think that's important about learning tunes is make sure you really try to do something. Oh, thanks. Do something that one thing about learning songs and analyze the songs. Then what happens is you get ideas for your own. You see what another composer did. It's like, wow, that's cool. Okay, so this lesson is going to be going through a 3-6-2-5 in the key of C. Okay, so the 3 chord in the key of C is, everybody together, E minor. Good. Now, here's an E minor chord. E minor 7 on the 12th fret. And then I'm going to go to A augmented sharp 9. And here's what it looks like. It's got a G in the bass. Probably want to get close up on this. And then it's got a G, C sharp, F, which is the sharp 5, and a flat 9. And then a D minor 7. And then so I have. Now in this case, I went. And now we did another way of doing it with an E minor 11. And then A7 sharp 9. Excuse me, flat 9. Here's the flat 9 in the 13th. And then down to C 6-9 with a sharp made sharp 11. So this is chord lick number 13 in the chord licks series. Now, if we were to go back to the song that we played before, which was Take the Frickin' A Train, you'll hear the turnaround. Here comes the turnaround. Now it does a different one. So let's go back. Here comes the turnaround. Okay, so there it is. Chord lick number 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a cool. You can make a living playing that. You got to throw some other stuff in there too. Okay, where are we at on these comments? Be sure to ask any questions so I got something to talk about. Let's see, do you play the song Something Stupid? No I stand, no I No, not really. But anyway, it's kind of like that. I like Sinatra and Nancy Sinatra. Wow. Do you listen to Sirius FM and they have the Sinatra channel and Nancy does plays all her dad's songs and talks about her dad. I think it's cool. Oh gosh, you know, sometimes when you learn information in your head and you really don't want to repeat it, you know, but you just seem compelled. You know, there's a book out, and they say Sinatra was well endowed. Another book, Sybil Shepherd, said Elvis wasn't. Why do they even talk about that? But I'm sorry for repeating that. Little information that you really don't want to know. All right, nice sound. Did you ever try Tomastic strings? They're the favorite of George Benson. Yeah, I did try Tomastic strings for a very long time. And I actually was sponsored by them. I got a sponsorship. See, how did that work? I don't know. But to be honest, you know, when you get sponsored, they want you to use them. And I didn't like them. To me, they're dead as soon as you put them on. So if you want Tomastic strings, give them a try. But to me, they're expensive, and I just don't see it. And they do make a George Benson set. Whoops, that light just went out, Wes. They do make a George, or this one never came on, maybe. They do make a George Benson set that, there, now you can see the headstock. The George Benson set that is heavy top, skinny bottom. And that's what I like to use, heavy top, skinny bottom. Okay, so where are we at? Let's take a look at this guitar. Were you able to find it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tal Farlow, for me, when I was young, I used to go to this guy's house, and
This one?
yep. Now that's a 300. It's a press top, I believe, on a 300. But so it's got P90s. It's a 51. They didn't have humbuckers then. So I'm looking at that. I'm thinking, geez, I would really like to have that guitar. I've played 300s before. It does have a 1950s neck, but look at that neck. Three-piece neck like an L5, right? It looks in beautiful shape. And it's a three-piece neck, or no, five-piece. It's got the two stringers, right? And there it kind of is. I think it's pressed top, but it's now there's Tal Farlow playing it, and he's identifying the guitar by the two marks shown on there. And Tal Farlow was that guy just knocked me out. This had to have been in the 70s. You see how Tal's got long hair there? Kind of a crazy guy. Look at the size of that guy's hands, man. Tal Farlow had monstrous hands. So wouldn't that be cool to have that guitar? I'm thinking, yeah, it sure would. So maybe I'll sell this and get that. And so, but it does have a 50s neck, which generally is a pretty beefy neck.
How about that price tag there?
That price tag, yeah. Some way, there's got to be a way around that. Maybe, I don't know, trade a car. I traded a car for an L5 once. But yeah, that price tag is up there. But how many ES300s ES300s are there? There's not that many of them. It's a working man's guitar, and it's going to buzz. It's got the old pickups. It's going to buzz. It's, but play it through a Gibson amp, and an old Gibson amp like the one I got behind me, and then you got twice this amount of buzz. Then you don't have to worry about what you play so much because you got so much buzzing going on. So I just thought that's something worth looking at. Guys, do you have any questions about anything? I think your Super Eagle sounds much better than the ES350. What ES350? Do I have Jim Rolfe? Oh, the 300. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the one I was just looking at? Yeah, I know it. It's they're different. They're different sounding. You know, guitars just sound different. You got to appreciate them for what they are. It's hard to and I struggled this for a long time. That an L5, a 175, you can't make it sound like an L5, no matter what you do. The only way you can really do it is to completely disassemble the whole guitar and just buy an L5, because it ain't going to work. You used to see Tal Farlow in the 70s at a small jazz club in West Patterson near, wow, Gulliver's. Every seat was within 20 feet of the stage. Wow, how fantastic. How did you like him? Now, he quit playing. He quit playing, and he was a sign painter or something like that. And then he'd get back into it and quit and get back in. I don't know why he did that, but I'm sure he had his reasons, because there's nothing more discouraging than being a musician and trying to get somewhere with your music. And but Tal, all right, when I was young, I used to go over to this guy's house, and he was a jazz guitar player. He had a Les Paul. Gosh, I wonder if he still has that Les Paul. It was like, it did have PAF pickups on it, because it would have been 1967, 66. And that he had strung with flat wounds, and it played like crap. And I could never make it play right for me, because I had, eights or something that playing rock. So he would he would say, show me some rock licks. Something like that. And then he would say, hey, check this Tal Farlow record. And first song under was Gibson Boy. Went, no. I don't know how it goes. I got to learn that song. But I do have a whole ton of transcriptions of Tal Farlow that I need to get into. And one of my loyal friends, student, gave me the box set of Tal Farlow one time, and I thought, wow, that is so sweet. So anyway, hi, Brad. Brad, how are you doing today in Palm Springs? Brad, I'm going to come to Palm Springs Mother's Day. That's the weekend of, or the week of the 7th or 8th or something like that. And I'm looking for a gig there. So if you can pull all your strings and help me get a gig. Tal Farlow would play on Monday nights, like a guitar night. Good. Is there any processing to the tone after the quilter hits the mic? No. Well, wait a minute. Yes, because we've got it going through this compressor, and it's compressing the crap out of the tone. So, yeah, that's not an accurate sound. I personally do not like compression, but I guess we're supposed to have it. So all the greats at this place, Herb Ellis, Joe Beck. Wow. Before she was known. What about, did you get to see Lenny Breau there? Because there's an album with Tal Farlow and Lenny Breau. Tal was a big influence on everybody. And anyway. Sure, Rich, I got to get a gig myself. Okay, let's do a duo. All right. So anyway, Tal Farlow. We'll have to do a special on Tal. Don't forget the tip jar, guys. Come on now. If I show you something that you like, do that. So, Wes, can you get up that video with here's a little video I wanted you to see, because talking about guitar nights, you know, Tal Farlow, it sounds like, had a guitar night. Probably the most famous guitar night is John Pisano's, right? And he's, I don't know how many years he's been doing it. It's 30 years. And I got to do it with him a couple of times. And here's a video of me doing it. And it's with a guy named Tim. Excuse me. Hey, Brad. The guy playing drums, his name's Tim. I forget his last name. But he's from Palm Springs. So maybe you could check that out. And Chris Connor is playing bass, and unfortunately, he has passed away. What a fantastic bassist. You know, it's such a small world, this jazz community. So Chris Connor, come to find out, there's a fellow named Rick Helzer, who's a wonderful pianist, who plays with, well, he's played with a lot of people, but he was director of jazz studies at San Diego State. And he's moved back to Fresno, where he grew up. And come to find out, he used to play with Chris Connor all the time.
All right.
I have a rock gig this Saturday. That's what people will pay for. I'm a blues man, but I'm digging your show. Robert Williams. Thank you, Robert Williams. That's a great name. Okay, you got that?
Yeah.
All right, let's check that out. See if you like it. It's we're playing OLEO, which is a cool tune.
Okay, Sonny Brown.
Okay, so that was kind of fun, huh? So that is a somebody was asking about that guitar, so I thought, well, get a little time, I'm going to go in and get it. So this is my 575. It's a custom. Custom means it's got these inlays, it's got binding all around it, and it's got the Seth Lover pickups on it, ebony bridge. And this one I had specially made for me, and it's got a 5-piece neck. That's the only one I've ever seen with a 5-piece neck. And I think it sounds good. It plays great. And I don't think I don't think I'll ever sell it. This is the one that when I got a sponsorship, this is the one that I had made for me. So I'm really happy with it. One of the things about this guitar is that they were saying, or I was saying, when I went back there, I said, it's a bright guitar, Is there a way to kind of, soften it up a little? But he said, well, you got the Tune-o-matic, you got ebony, you got this maple neck, and believe it or not, all that contributes to the sound. You got a lot of hard surfaces there. But then he told me about raising the pickup off the top and let that top vibrate. And so I did that, and it changed the sound of the guitar. Okay, so anyway, that's the deal on this guitar. Isn't that pretty? This is called an almond sunburst, I think, something like that. Light almond sunburst. So they don't make any new colors now. It's just either natural or sunburst. But hey, they don't make the custom either, So I got the one I showed you last week, and I'm getting ready to let that one go, I think. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I guess he plays with Doug McDonald, I think. Oh, okay. What is his name? Tim. I have a rock gig. Well, Tim, I can play, or Brad, I can play rock. Listen, I'm coming home. I did my time. Now I got to know what is. Tie a yellow ribbon, isn't that rock? You kids in your rock and roll. Okay. Amazon Prime has a documentary about Tel Farlow. I got to check that out. Yes, where did I read that? He was so poor, he built his own guitar. On the cover of that box set, he's playing a guitar that I think is the one he built. And so, crazy, isn't it? Okay, great playing. How do you comp behind John's playing when he does a chord solo? Just lay out. Yes, there's nothing better than laying out. You don't constantly have to be playing all the time. Laying out is, or playing long tones. You know what I mean? So you gotta there's a theory about playing in a band. You're either going to it's either going to be a positive or a negative. It's never a neutral. Okay, so whatever you're going to play, Make sure it's contributing to the band and not taking it away. So that's, let's try to remember that. Your guitars are all beautiful and special. They are. They are. What a blessed guy I am, and I will not deny it. Your guitars are all beautiful and special. Yes. Thank you. Is it easy to raise the pickup off the body? Yes. Now, Rendell Wall, he uses a very thin metal washer. It's just, you just go to the hardware store and get the tiniest washer you can find in them. I used nylon. I don't know if it matters or not, but you just want to make sure that top, you can slip a guitar pick in there all around. So if it does that, then you've got the top off, or the pickup off the top. Therefore, it's not going to. This guitar spent some time in the case, and to be honest, like Kenny Burrell said, they get mad at you, and what they do is start to self-destruct. And so, like if you humidify your guitar, which this one has been humidified, again, the gold starts to get a film on it, and that's the beginning of corrosion. So you want to make sure you get it out, air it out every once in a while, wipe off the gold. So the guitar has two opposing forces. You want the humidity for the wood, but you don't want it for the metal. You want the dryness for the metal, but not for the wood. So what do? Okay.
Without those companies make wood pickups, don't they?
Yeah, they make wood pickups. What? Do they? Wood pickup covers?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. I'll have to check that out. I heard you moved to the coast. Better opportunities to play there? That's what I thought. Then COVID came, and there's no opportunities to play anywhere. Okay, so let's do our lick city, shall we? Let's move on to lick city. Let's get this thing moving, okay? Come on now. All right, we're going to play 251 lick number 11 on the dial. For those following along in your signal, please turn to that. Wait, before we do, Brad says, in this rock group, the drummer, keyboard player, and I take off on jazz standards in between tunes, and it drives the others nuts. Anytime there's an F major chord, the keyboard player interjects. That's when you know you're bored, when you start doing that. One of the things that I like about jazz and playing instrumentally is you get to play a lot. In rock bands, you got to accompany them while the singer sings and all that. And it's like, and then you get to go, whatever it is, and you're done. So it's boring as can be. I'd rather play bass in a rock band, because you're just jumping around and lighting it on fire and stuff, and you're flinging your hair around, and you got spandex pants. And I like doing that better. All right, let's get into this lick. Here's the lick. It's A minor 7, D7, G. You ever heard of those chords together? This guitar does sound pretty damn good, doesn't it? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go pick up, and we're going to go. And then, so first A minor 7. We're going to end on the 4th, and then, okay, 3, 4, okay. No, I played that wrong. Wait a minute. That's how it goes. So it's got the... Okay, got that? Now, here's the tricky part. We're going to go down to a G sharp, and we're going to play diminished scale, diminished sequence. So, together. I like actually going up to the ninth on the G chords to so something like that. All right, I want to show you guys something. And I just did a video on this, and I haven't stuck it out yet, but I think it's a real important thing. Let me talk about this real quick. When you go to learn something, if you program into your mind the correct way to play it right from the get-go without making mistakes, you'll be much happier. So let me use this analogy, and I use this in the video. Let's pretend you're writing a Word document, and every time you type a new word or any kind of keystroke, let's say, it creates an autosave, okay? So you write out, now is the time. You spell time wrong. You back up and you fix it. Well, now you got two variations. For all men, oops, wait a minute. It's supposed to be good men, okay, to come to the aid of their party, which, by the way, you know, more people should be doing that. Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their political party. All right, so every time you make a mistake, it makes a copy, makes a copy, makes a copy. You write another word, makes a copy. Now, next day, you come back to find your document. What happens? By the way, every time it made a copy, it wasn't time-stamped. It wasn't numbered. So now you've got 200 copies of this, and you don't know which one to open up. Your brain is super confused, okay? If you treated your brain like that, you would learn things much faster because you don't want to make a mistake right from the get-go. So when you sit down to play this lick, you're going to go and really make sure you're playing the correct notes right from the get-go. You see, your brain is registering all the pressure on the strings, the fret, the way it feels with your fingers, the way everything is happening around you. There's a lot of information your brain has taken in, not just notes. Okay? So you got a supercomputer up there. Now, once you get it to where you can play it without making a mistake in no time, in other words, there's no tempo. All you're doing is playing each individual note. You put your metronome on and you play half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you do that a couple of times. Make sure you're playing it precisely. Now, you've just made a very good variation in your noggin, okay? You don't have any screw ups, and that's good. So now you play it as quarter notes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now you've just made a nice impression or a variation, and you've played that precisely perfect. Now, the key to playing perfect is to practice perfect. Practice does not make perfect. If you practice incorrectly, it makes many variations, and it's hard to break out of those. And then, so that's why you keep screwing up, keep screwing up things. So it's really important. The next thing you do is, of course, play it at a small tempo, or a slow tempo as eighth notes. 3. Okay. Practice makes permanent. You do that enough, playing it correctly, that'll get rid of all the variations that you played screwing it up, okay? So there is our lick for the day. It's a 2-5-1. Let's try it in a different chord shape. This would be a different variation. It's going to look like this for E minor, A7, D. So that's going to look like this. Right down to E minor 7 triad. Didn't that sound cool going to the flat 5? 2, 3, 4. Okay, there is our lick city for the day, okay? So I hope to get that video out this week talking about doing that. I remember reading Howard Roberts, and he's saying, never make a mistake. And he talks about that a little bit, about the impressions in your mind. I just thought of the autosave thing, because really that's what's happening. So, subconsciously, your mind probably knows all the variations. Consciously, you know which one is right. But the conscious mind knows which is the correct one. The unconscious mind probably knows all the others. So that's why you keep screwing it up. So you got to program into there more to the unconscious mind, more of the correct lines. Okay, so where are we at here? Practice makes permanent. Just downloaded some sweet EDM, ambient and hip hop backing tracks for recording and lick practice. What is EBM? EDM.
Electronic dance music.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Gives you a beat.
Yeah, it's got a good beat. It's easy to dance to. Okay, Ralphie Valadares, thank you for showing up. We were waiting for you. You lost me on that. Guess I better review the chat. Well, Barry Green said that speed is the product of good technique. Yes. Yeah, and again, when you are practicing something, practice perfect. Not just the notes, the way you hold the guitar, the way where you pick the guitar. If you want a nice sound, pick over here. Don't pick back here. You know, closer back. Don't you get a better sound up there? So let's face it, go with that. So Ralphie Valadares, you showed up at the correct time because I am going to do that song that I did last week, the new song. And Ralphie, I thought your title won out. So it's called Bossa Rosa. I had a lot of other things like Chillin' All the Way, and there was a couple other ones. And I thought, well, that's cool, but I like this Bossa Rosa. What is Rosa anyways? Maybe a Bossa Rose? No, Bossa Rosa. Jim Rolfe, yes, you're welcome, Jim. I forgot. Hang on with the music. We'll see how this goes. Where's it at? Something like that. I talked about this last week. When you write your own music, you know, there's so many variations of it that have been programmed in here that because you've written and rewrote and rewrote and rewrote. Yeah. Anyway, there's tune. I like the song. Interesting chill lines right there. Nice looking. Thanks for reminding us to start slow and practice perfectly. Thank you, Jimmy Rolfe. Anyway, I see her walking along the beach. Hair is blowing in the moonlight. She sighs as I hold her, whispering Bossa Rosa. I'll listen and get you some words. Oh, you got imagination, Ralphie. I had a funny thing happen this week. I'm almost a little embarrassed by it, but it's kind of funny. So, I was in a band in high school, and I should have brought the magazine because there's this magazine that comes out and it's talks about all the old bands in the 60s, you know, whether they were famous or not. You know, we weren't. So in the band was Pat Flynn, who became member of the Newgrass Revival and has done really well. And Boyd Cannon, he has a big band in Thousand Oaks. And Colin Kiffin, he's a singer-songwriter, still doing it. And myself. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Oh, here's the magazine. It's called Ugly Things. Couldn't have been named more appropriate. By the way, here's the band. Can you zoom in on that, Wes? Right in this camera there. Yeah. Okay, so there we are. That's in high school. We were going to play at a car wash. So the guy with the longer hair is me. The guy sitting down is Colin. Pat's with the guitar, and Boyd's standing there. Anyway, Pat went on to do a thing called Fresh Air, which is, I think, right here somewhere. And then he also had a song, album called Yellow Hand, and a band, and they were on Capitol, and so was Fresh Air, I think. But anyway, we were like Buffalo Springfield guys. So anyway, we had a recording. It's called Long Day Tomorrow, and it's on eBay, by the way, for $200. I'm like, what? I tried to ask him, would you sell it for less? Because I broke mine to me. And no. $200 is the price of that. Okay, well, I'll just get the tape. So anyway, they're involved in this long chat, and they're going along, and they're thinking, well, I remember, at the recording studio, the tempo was decided by the producer, and I did this, and I wrote this part in this, that, and one guy chimes in and says, I did this, and the vocal part, we did the major seventh above there. Who did that part? And blah, blah, blah. They're going on and on about this recording. It was recorded at Gold Star and then some overdubs at Wally Hyder's. And they're going on and on and on. And I'm reading all this stuff. And I'm like, so I wrote back and I said, hey guys, I just got a 10% coupon from Harbor Freight. I thought it was funny. Did you think that's funny? Not really. I thought it was funny. Gail and I laughed forever. Jimmy Rolfe said it was funny. Well, I decided that's what you do when somebody gets so involved in something and you're kind of disinterested. You say, hey, I just saved 20% on car insurance. Okay, well, never mind, man. I thought it was funny. Okay, those are words for your melody. Oh, those are words. I see you're walking down that piece, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Thank you, Ralph. Jim Rolfe, don't get me started. Didn't you save on car insurance too? Yes, I did. I saved 20% on my car insurance by switching to Geico. All right. Okay, let's do this. We're going to do our technique talk. I don't know if we're running out of time, but let's do this. Do you guys know how to play a 3-octave scale, a chromatic scale? Yes? No? I can't hear you. What? Let's do it. Here's a 3-octave chromatic scale goes like this. Look at, when I play a 2-octave chromatic scale, let's say I'm going to play from A to A. As I do it, I'm going to play 4 notes on a string. And when I cross strings, I move down a fret. I cross again, move down a fret. Cross again, move down a fret. You stay the same between the B and the G string. Move down, and then you slide into the last note. So I have. So we're moving down. Down is this way on the neck and sliding in. Now, when we play it in reverse, I'm not going to play 5 notes starting. I'm going to play only 4. And now I'm going to move up a fret. And stay the same between these 2 strings. Move up. Move up. Move up. Now that's a 2-octave chromatic scale from A to A. Let me do it. And playing it back down. All right. Now, when I'm going to play from A to A, I have to do what I call is a shift. And a shift is playing 8 notes on a string. So I can do the shift right in the beginning. Let me just show you just a couple of ways you could do it. So you actually have 8 notes on one string. So you want to get it to sound like you got 8 fingers. Now, when I cross strings on ascending chromatic scales, I have to move down a fret. Now, let's do a shift here. Cross strings. I stay the same between the B and the G string. Shift, move down. Do a shift. Slide it into the last note. So now my chromatic scale looks like this. Now, I don't have to do the shift on this string. I could go do the shift here. Do a shift here. Stay the same here. I could play 2 shifts on one string. Or 3 shifts. Right? Now, going backwards, in reverse, we do 4 notes, and do a shift. Let's do another shift. So now I got this. Whoop. Move up as I cross strings. Stay the same between the B and the G string. Move up, move up, move up, do a shift, slide into the last note. See, I did that differently. So there's so many ways you could do it. Whoop. So basically, each starting note is going to be on the root, the third, and the sharp fifth. It's an augmented chord. Okay, same with descending. There's the root, sharp fifth is F, the third. Okay, so there's 3 octave chromatic scales. And of course, you want to start on different notes. Do it from F to F. I don't use open strings because that screws everything up. You can't go. Don't want to start off with 5 notes. If you're going to do from E, then do and then shift. All right, there's a chromatic scale, and you really should practice that quite a bit. Okay, guys, I'm going to play one more tune, and then it's out of here. You know this song? It goes like this. I'm not a jukebox. I think I'm a jukebox. I'm not. Anyway, that was At Last. What a great song. And thank you again for joining us. And I will talk at you guys later. I just found Joy. Sweet Lorraine. Don't forget to make a tip if you feel like it. And you get a free lesson. I'll talk at you later, guys. Thank you again for joining us.